Good morning, friends. I'm Reverend Karla Lightner, the Associate Minister at Unity San Diego. Today, our daily word is talking about relaxing. And I just have to tell you that this is really exactly what I need. Isn't it just reassuring that the God of our understanding brings to us what we need in the moment? You know, yesterday I had days one of those days when anything that I touched, nothing worked. Well, some stuff did, but technologically speaking, I had a doggone hard time. My Ring doorbell didn't ring. I took me 20 minutes to order pizza, and I was replicating an order that I had before. And I was just anything I touched seemed to not work. And I was having one of those days where I was like into my negativity. Now, I don't get those days very often anymore, but yesterday was one of those days when I couldn't relax. I was tense and I was enjoying, reveling in that tenseness. And my daughter Gina said to me, well, why don't you use some of those techniques that you teach us about, the breathing and the focusing? And I'm like, I don't want to. It was one of those days. But what I've learned to do is that I needed to see what was really going on. Why was I letting little things like a doorbell and pizza upset me so much? Was that where I found that, I was going to a new type of therapy for my back and I was scared. I was worried. I was afraid. And I allowed that fear to get a hold of me and manifest in ways that were not very nice looking. And it happens to all of us, but the big thing is to recognize it, to be able to say, hey, yes, I freaked out about something small. Why? Why? Knowing that the issue, that the problem or the challenge is within myself. Needless to say, I ordered much better pizza. My doorbell now notifies me, not with a huge chime, but with a little quiet notice. And things did turn out well. My therapy was fantastic, but when I got there, the therapist said, do you have a hard time relaxing? And I said, yes, especially today. Now, this was yesterday. And, there I think about times when I would have said, oh no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm all right. It's okay. And then I have to really pat myself on the back, give myself some love here because I opened up. And I said, you know what? Yes, I do. I do have a problem relaxing. And what I found worked for me was the prayer for protection and the part at the end that's not even part of it that says, and all is well. And I just needed to know that all was well. And so today, with the daily word being relaxed, it was just perfect. Take that time. Doesn't mean I won't get things done I need done. Doesn't mean I won't be productive, but my inner being will be relaxed. So I chose for our affirmation today. I relax, knowing all is truly well. I'll type that into the comment bar. I relax, knowing all is truly well. See, when I realize that tension comes from fear and from resistance. And when I realized that tension was within me, then I could say, why? What's going on? What layer of that onion do I need to peel to see why little tiny things are making me freak out? And knowing that I can relax easily into that presence of God, knowing that if I'm willing to let go and let God, if I'm willing to just release, the things happen so much easier. I don't need to scream and say, why can't I order this pizza? It should be easy. It's pizza. So let's take a moment, friends. I have the 2 daily words here, like I like to do. I have today, April 24th, 2021. Then I have another one, February 25th of 1932. The daily word today talks about I relax and recharge as I breathe into the moment. Talking about while we can't lock ourselves up when things don't go our way or when we're frustrated, we can take a moment. We can step away and take a breather, release, and let go. Thinking about our oneness and focusing on our oneness with God, we can take that moment to decompress and to relax. The daily word for February 25th, 1932 says, I relax from all stress and strain because I've learned to place all my affairs in God's keeping. It talks about when we find that when we release and relax, we allow the God of our understanding to take over, especially when we're having days like I had yesterday, that we increase our trust and confidence in God. And we can't really be tense about things if we've put them in God's hands. Again, tension comes from fear and resistance. We're holding tight. Oh, dog. The greatest antidote to fear and resistance in these conditions is trust in God. After a person's been tense regarding situations in life, they find a great sense of freedom from learning truth and giving the prayers into the hands of God. Relax in the realization that there is nothing in this world that is worth a moment of worry. Relax knowing that God is in the midst of us now, commanding all of our affairs. Those are some powerful words. In both of the daily words, they're both powerful because they both put God as the center of our being. That trust, that inner knowing, God, our oneness with God, it puts us right in that flow. And it's so much easier to flow into that. And today I'm telling myself just as much as I'm telling you, and sharing my experience with you helps me to release that and let that go. And when I let go and release that, hey, we all have bad days. I have bad days too. Everyone has days when we find these things that we know, this truth of our oneness with God to be a challenge in our human experience. And when we face that, recognize that, realize again that we're spiritual beings having this human experience in a spiritual universe that's governed by spiritual laws, that sometimes we're on different wavelengths, and that humanness might take us way down here. Yikes, I'm freaking out. And then our spirituality, which is consistently here, which is our spiritual self, our divine connection to God, then we need to move that up so that we're on that same vibration. So that we're not while listening to the AM radio when we're tuned to FM. We have to get tuned together to that same channel. So that's what meditation does for us. And that's what relaxation and trusting in the God of our understanding does for us. It gets us where we are on that same frequency, that same radio station, that same vibration. And it helps us to be centered and to be focused. So let's take some moments, friends, to just relax. Again, I'm a wiggler, so I love to wiggle out. Take a breath and just relax into this moment. Breath again. Let it go. Releasing any worry, any tension, any anxiety we might have, any stresses we may have with these extra things we're doing, these extra technological things that we have had to learn so quickly in this time of COVID. These outer things. Let's take this in, relax within, knowing that all truly is well. For issues that we need help with, let's go within and know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I'm having a rough day. Can you help me out? I can't figure out my doorbell. Please help me. It's okay to ask. It's okay to be vulnerable, to open up, and to give to the God of our understanding, to relax into that, and then to listen. And maybe our instructions that we hear are, call somebody, look at a YouTube video, do something. But there are action steps we take. And it doesn't mean that we aren't capable. It doesn't mean that we are not trusting in the God of our understanding. What it does mean is that we are listening to the divine guidance that we get when we are in silence. Let's go to that silence right now. And let it go. Breathe in again. Let it go. Close your eyes if you feel moved to do so, but if you don't want to, don't. Just get comfortable. And set aside, please, anything you're holding in your laps, in your consciousness, those to-do lists, those anything that's going to interrupt, that's going to defocus us from this time of inner relaxation, this time of listening to the God of our understanding, this time of being in this sacred space that we're in each and every time we take a breath. Shifting my thoughts to our breath, shifting our thoughts to breathing. And breathe out. Breath. Just let go. As you exhale, let go. Take a deep breath in. Just release it with just release any worry, any anxiety, any thoughts that are not positive. Let's release from mental tension. Let's release and let go. Let's give any of our thoughts, our feelings, our worries to the God of our understanding. Knowing that as we go into this place within and commune with our God, we are not only speaking in prayer, but we are listening for an answer in our time of silence. And so as we come into this space, we focus on these words, I relax, knowing all is truly well. I relax, knowing all is truly well in the silence. I relax knowing there is nothing in this world worth my worry. God is in the midst of you and me and all of us right now. And as we open to this and give the God of our understanding acts full control of our affairs, we release, we let go. We feel such a calmness, such a presence of love, of joy, peace. We release these tense feelings. We replace them with calmness, confidence, love, and understanding for not only others, but for ourselves, because it begins within that peace, that serenity, that realization that God is all. We are all one with God. That realization begins with me. We know that as we relax, all is truly well. As we know, we are expressions, living expressions of God. We say, thank you, God. Knowing that anytime we can always come to this space of taking a breath, of just stepping out of what's going on in and around us and coming to this time of peace. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me today in the time of peace and relaxation, knowing that all truly is well. Namaste.